So the first real patch in Baldur's Gate 3 is out. And it's absolutely humongous. It's like gigantic. It addresses like over 1,000 bugs, balancing, flow issues, and much more. It's like absolutely insane. And if you go through this list, I mean, look at this. If you scroll through all of this, it's like absolutely insane how much this is. I for sure won't go through every little point in this list, but I will go through what I think are just some of the more important things and give you a little bit of an overview from things which could be interesting for you. If I forget anything which you think is really important to know and I just oversaw, just let everyone in the comments know, of course. And one thing which is important here, they also said that patch 2 isn't that long away, so every bug or just wish you encounter in the game, let them know, because they explicitly say they want to work with us. So reach out to them, report your struggles, and let's make this game even better. So let's start with the balance changes. The first thing would be an increased player's HP bonus in Explorer mode from 50 to 100%. Just nice for everyone who likes to play in Explorer mode and just enjoy the game. You have now an easier time with this. Then next one would be that they made gold bounties more generous several containers across the game. So if you ever had problems with finding enough gold, this should be easier from now on. Another thing would be that you can no longer have multiple mage hands active at the same time. So if you use this for your advantage, you can no longer do. Another quick fix would be that you were not being able to create a 5th level spell slot from sorcery points. Should be possible from now on. Next one is regarding the bards. The College of Lore bards can now pick which additional skill proficiency they receive. Bards that are already of the College of Lore need to respec to get this choice. Which is nice, because if you didn't like the proficiency you were provided with, you can now be a little bit more flexible. Another thing considering the bards, they added spells to the bard's magical secrets feature, including Banishing Smite, Animated Death, Crusader's Mantle, Hunger of Hader, Revivify, Sleet Storm, Rage of Enfeeblement, Web, Entangle, Hunter's Mark, Sanctuary, Thunderous Smite, Bone Chill, Eldritch, Morphic Blast, Firebolt, Ray of Frost, and Secret Flame. Let's go to the next. The Warlock Spect of the Chain Summons now get to use their extra attack more than once. If you played it, you know the struggle that you couldn't use it that often, but now it should be possible to use it as it was supposed to be. Next thing would be for our dear stealth peepers, because they fixed that NPCs sometimes spotted you even if they were not supposed to be able to. They also fixed an issue where multiple rolls trigger if you walk along the edge of a cone of vision. So you should have an easier time from now on, or there shouldn't be so much of situations anymore where you got catched even though it shouldn't be the case. Then next off, that is something that personally I didn't have to cope with, but Dance Macabre ghouls will no longer kill you if you long rest. So if this happened to you, it will no longer happen. So those were the main balance changes. Now we can go over to the combat and balance in this area. The first thing was that they fixed Archfey Warlocks not being able to use their Warlock spell slots if they are a lower level than regular spell slots when multiclassing. So they fixed it, no worry anymore. So a really important change. Next thing would be that multiclassing into Ranger now correctly provides proficiency in martial weapons. So if you had the struggle before that it didn't provide you the correct proficiency in this area, it will now do. They also fixed the sneak attack reaction not working if a melee finesse weapon is not equipped. So even though you maybe had a ranged weapon, you couldn't use sneak attack because you didn't have a finesse weapon, a melee finesse weapon equipped. So they fixed this issue, should be working from now on. Another thing is, they also changed the second wind and lay of hands. The healing amounts of them now correctly scale with the class level rather than the overall character level. So they are going to be less powerful, but working as intended. So just keep in mind that if you're using them now, they won't be that strong anymore, unless your class level is pretty high, but that's a no-brainer, I guess. The next one is regarding Anti-Evil, so if you weren't there yet, skip this, because it isn't a real spoiler, but you know, don't get any information you don't want to know. They fixed the issue that Anti-Evil is dying instead of getting knocked out, even when non-lethal attacks are toggled on. And of course, corresponding to that, they are not triggering your possibility for the dialogue and getting your essential bonus, which just buffs your whole character that much. So this should work from now on. If you had the struggle or whatever, it should work from now on. So that was all regarding the combat. Let's go to the actions and conditions. Dragonborn's breath weapon attack now scales with a character level and uses Constitution as its saving throw. So the next one is for the druids, which says that symbiotic entity now works with unarmed attacks. And for those who don't know what symbiotic entity is, this one gives you 4 temporary hit points per druid level and deal an additional 1d6 necrotic damage while you have the temporary hit points. They also fixed Stinking Cloud not reapplying its condition to characters that had the condition on the previous turn, which was pretty annoying, but now it should work and reapply the condition as it should. Next chapter would be regarding the gameplay. They fixed the sharpshooter feat not applying its penalty to offhand ranged attacks. So everyone who used this or maybe exploited this tactic for dealing much more damage without the penalty, you can't do this anymore because they fixed it. Then another one which some of you maybe think it's annoying, for some of you maybe it's nice. Characters will now leave the Everburn blade when idle. So you won't have it out all the time now anymore. So if you like this, it sucks for you, but for the other ones who like it otherwise, congratulations. They also fixed the bug where concentration is not updating correctly after you load into a new region. So from now on it should work correctly. Next off, they fixed the bug where switching characters right before a cinematic would cause the cinematic not to play. So if you had the struggles and you played around this, you now don't have to worry that much anymore. They also made some changes in the Emerald Clove where some repetitive overhead dialogues in the Emerald Grove are less annoying. I just think it's nice that they include such things because I don't think it's the most important change that some things are a little bit repetitive and less annoying, but they also fixed it. I love that. Next chapter would be regarding the items. There isn't much in. They just fixed some locations where some unreachable items were. For example, in the Underdark, or near the slag-skinned head in the necrotic laboratory, or in the House of Healing surgery room, or on the Nordiroad. I won't go into them. You know, if you were in those areas and you maybe didn't get some specific items, you can now try it again and get them, because I don't want to spoiler anyone. Then next off, for the level design and the maps, they positioned the camp chest a little better at Moonrest Towers and the Elfsong Tavern. Just a little improvement, but of course, little things are going to make this game better and better. Also, players will now be able to access the secret drawer in the House of Healing. Also, there were apparently some unreachable digging mounts across the game. So now they fixed it, and probably if we go through our second, third, whatever playthrough, we will find a little bit more things if we go around the world. So keep an eye on it and not only find the ones you already found in the past. There is more variety now. Then there were of course some cinematic scene changes, and one which made its round, which is regarding the little characters in this game. They made fixes to kissing scenes where the origin characters across the game, for example, to make sure physical contact is made properly, to account for shorter races, and to account for uneven ground. So if you ever had a struggle in this area, or played like a gnome or something else, it should work for now. Another one which I like, even it's not the most important part, but I like that they made the change. They made sure that Will has room to dance no matter where you're camping. So there were some more additional quick things. They also fixed the memory leak on saving and loading. They also fixed that Ella's ability is causing a performance issue in the end game, and generally speaking, some memory problems along the third act. It should now work a little bit better if you had struggles, especially in the late game in Act 3. It should go a little bit smoother from now on. And those were like the main things I would say are the most important ones. There of course are much more like usability changes, visual changes, then a few loot and trade. The most important ones, which I won't go through here because they are just spoilers and I don't want to spoil anyone. And if you want to know them, are like showstoppers. There were like some situations in the game where you maybe just had a struggle to continue your game because of a certain bug. So look it up and see if the bug is there regarding your problem. And of course some story and logic things. You can go through them if you want them, but be aware that there could be spoilers if you aren't that far in the game. So go and proceed at your own risk in this area. One last thing which I almost forgot is they fixed the bug with Shadowheart, with the romance scene you never got. So now it should work. You can now romance with her and that's it. So that was basically everything. And as I said, if I forgot anything on the patch notes, let me know. And otherwise, have a nice day. Bye.